Hello, my name is Joseph Salama. I am here with The Voice. I'm an editor here, and today we are accompanied by Dalia Amin, presidential candidate for Imagine UW. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. The first question we have for you today is, what is one major way you would like to change ASUW next year?
Sure. Well, ASUW is a great place in my heart, and being involved with it the past 3 years, I've seen a lot of great things that come out of it and some areas of improvement. And I think one way that I'd like to change ASUW is its awareness. I've gone, especially working in the various communities on campus, I've realized a lot of students don't know what ASUW does for them and what kind of resources it has for them and how they can access it. Mm-hmm. And what I think I want to do is be able to utilize my board members and the ASUW employees and come up with great plans and strategies and a program or two or a goal and go out there and access our communities, be it tabling on Red Square once a month and letting students know that we have jobs available, volunteer opportunities, or going to various communities and speaking for 5 minutes. And I'm not saying I will do this alone. I think it requires my whole team and a lot of other volunteers from the ASUW who are passionate about what this association does for the students and spreading the message. And I'm not saying we're going to get all the students next year, but I'm just being realistic and saying maybe we can increase those percentages that we have in the past. And I think the first place we can start from is with first year programs, working with them closely, so the incoming freshmen come in. If they all know what ASUW does for them, and we continue that pattern in the future, in 4 years from now, everybody will know what ASUW does for them. So hopefully that can happen.
Yeah. So our next question is, how do you plan on working with the incoming UW president? It's going to be announced he or she will be announced on this upcoming Monday. And how do you hope to work with the Board of Regents to push forward student priorities?
Well, I think it's very important, especially as the Associated Students of the University of Washington president, to understand all the administrators and faculties where they stand and their goals for the students. And I think this is a really good question because I should be able to work closely with that individual and be able to reflect on ideas and our goals so we come out with one common plan for the students. I think my main goal would be just sitting down with the incoming president, and understanding their goal for the students and reflecting my ideas and the association's wants for the administration. And I'd like to see actually a presidential committee get started. I know the Vice President of Diversity Affairs has a student advisory board. It'd be really nice to see the president, University of Washington's president, have a student advisory board, and having students from all around campus sit on this board, and having at-large seats, and different communities could have seats on this, and students can come in, and I'm not saying it has to be every once a week, but maybe once a month. We sit down and we have an agenda of important items to discuss, and we share our opinions, and hopefully he or she will take that into consideration, and we can move from there. And also reflects the same thing with the Board of Regents. I really want to be active with the Board of Regents. I have been to a few of the meetings, and they care about the students, but I feel also that sometimes they have lack of information on how students may feel, or what particular community might look at something that's happening in a great way, and other community might disapprove of that. Mm-hmm. So I think being able to bring a holistic view to that table, and before I do any of this though, talking to the Board of Regents or the university president, it's about understanding my student body. So I really want to understand what the association students wants, what our students want out there, and be able to bring that back and discuss it and make priorities, and then go up to them and talk to them about these priorities. Because it's not effective if we just walk in there like, this is what all the students want on our campus. I think it'd be nice to have top 3 priorities for our student body, and asking them to work with us on that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. What would be some specific ways you would reach out and gather student voice and student opinion? What type of mechanisms would you use to do that?
Well, I feel like students, they're very busy. They're students. Some of them have jobs, involvement. It's definitely hard to ask students to give an hour or two in their life. But I don't think we should stop trying that. A lot of people look into forms and say, that's a fail. I have seen forms that actually work. And it requires a lot of advanced planning and a lot of advertisement and a discussion, something that students really care about. So I think one would definitely be forms that are well planned, and another would be utilizing surveys and in a creative way, not just sending out a survey through a link and saying fill this out. Maybe it's tabling, or maybe it's going to community events. I don't know if all these student groups on campus have major events that happen throughout the quarters. Having a table there for ASUW, especially if we're sponsoring them financially, can we have a table there to ask students about this particular issue we're dealing with right now? And bringing that back and sharing that. And also having student volunteers that are willing to go out there in the community and not necessarily table or carry a clipboard, but they're involved with a particular community, going out there and talking to students about this issue and jotting some notes down, bringing that back. This way, we're trying to hit all the angles we can reach out to the students, and also social media. Maybe it's making a YouTube video, or our new ASUW's new Facebook page. Creating a poll on there. I think there's so many ways we could utilize our association and the talents of the students that are involved with this association. And I think you just need somebody with the right ideas and the ability to coordinate and bring people together and delegate, and hopefully students will care and students will share their opinion.
Yeah, no, absolutely. How does your campaigning reflect your goals and strategies for ASUW as a whole next year?
Sure. Well, running with Imagine UW has been amazing. I think the team of people that I work with are very passionate and they care a lot about our campus, and they all come from the creative backgrounds of involvement in their own communities. And what we've been doing so far is trying to change the face of elections, and in our own little way. So what we've been doing is having fun events every week. So every Friday, we started off with a big concert, or a small concert with people coming out and singing and letting go of balloons and starting the year off, or the election season off. And last Friday we had the Glee Flash Mob, and we every Wednesday we have the Gotta Catch 'Em All deal, where they have to catch 5 of the 8 candidates and get to know us, talk to us about what we want to do for them. And so these creative things that kind of engage students. I know a lot of students might be criticized for, oh, that's just gimmicks. You're trying to get people to vote for you because you have a great event. Not necessarily. I believe it's already hard enough to get students to learn about ASUW or what election is about. This is just one way of doing it. And it has been successful so far because a lot of students have, first of all, learned about ASUW,
Mm-hmm.
second, what ASUW elections is, mm-hmm. and third, who's running and why are students running, mm-hmm. and fourthly, what kind of impact we're going to make for them next year. And if I'm getting that out in a month of elections, yeah. Imagine what we can do with a whole year in office mm-hmm. of that kind of style. And a mix of other things, of course, but I think so far, having seen what we've done with elections and reflecting that into next year, if I could have ASUW once a month out there with something fun and exciting and cost effective. None of our events have cost. There's something that we all come together and bring, our own tables, our own canopies, and kind of do our own little thing. And and we've reached out to at least 50 students every event. Mm-hmm. And I think that's just one way of it. And another ways could be, we've gone into different communities and where we've split up into groups of 3 or 4 within our Imagine UW group and talk to different organizations, go to events. We were at the Hip Hop Student Summit last night, talking to the students there that care about hip hop. Not necessarily ASUW or, talking of politics, student politics. And we were there and letting students know that, there's actually art and entertainment involved with ASUW. There is a fun part of ASUW or, something that you can get involved with. I think if we're out there and really putting the effort into these communities and really, it's a two-way street. We can't expect students just to come to us and learn about us. Mm-hmm. We have to make an effort to go to them too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. One question regarding your previous experiences on the board. How does your previous work as the Director of Diversity Efforts directly translate into your ability to preside over the Board of Directors as a whole?
Sure. Well, first of all, I love my job as Director of Diversity Efforts. It brought me so much closer to myself and to the communities that I was serving, and I had a blast doing it, honestly. Yeah. And I'm jealous that, whoever's going to be taking that position, they're going to have lots of fun with it. But that position was also very physically and emotionally trying. Mm-hmm. It required a lot of patience and a lot of the ability to communicate in different languages with different people. Mm-hmm. And what I've learned from that position itself with the board of directors was going out in the community. And I think having the ability to learn about each of the communities and how they operate and bring that knowledge back to ASUW. And chairing the Joint Commissions Committee, working with the 8 commissioners and making sure that their events were successful. They were, had a balanced budget, and they were trying new things. So last year, the Joint Commissions Committee some of the best programming, or up to one of their levels of what they had in the past. And we had a lot of joint programming, which was very limited in the past, and students were very successful, and most of the communities that they represented were very happy with what the outcomes of the commission director's work. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm not taking full responsibility for that, because I didn't, because all the commission directors did a lot of work of that. But I definitely working with them and making sure they were organized and on top of their things, and being able to access me as their board of director member, and letting them know that I was their voice on the board directors, and it was very beneficial. And having led that and going out in the communities, and this past year, I've been even learning about more of the other communities on campus, the Resident Hall Student Association, working with UW PD and first year programs, and especially with Greek life. And I feel like having that vast network of people that you've worked with within as director of diversity efforts and beyond that, I feel like it can bring me back to representing the student body, having to work with as diversity efforts. I learned a lot about our campus and our backgrounds, and a lot of what the different communities want. I think we forget that, and not all the communities want one thing.
Yeah.
And I think in director of diversity efforts, as director of diversity efforts, I learned that.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. This year has made some excellent strides towards advancement and working with alumni and creating an ASUW endowment. How would you work to continue the efforts made this year and years past in future years if elected?
Sure. I think, first of all, they've done a great job with that this year, which is very positive change move forward, and I'm very excited they went through with that. I think it's definitely with the economic times we're in, it's obvious that we're not, nothing's getting better in anytime soon. So this is a great way to move forward. And I've actually talked to a few people about this plan and the UW Foundation, especially from the Student UW Foundation, and they've expressed how a lot of times what they lack is volunteers. If they have a few people, if we have ASUW written somewhere in there, and we're reaching out to our alumni and saying, you know what, you are the director of diversity efforts, the ASUW board of directors. We are in need, and we have these great programs that we're doing, but it looks of it, we might not be able to continue such programs. Are you willing to give your time, so meaning coming back and supporting, through mentorship or volunteering, or be financially, doing whatever you can for the students. And I think it requires a lot of reaching out and planning, which is why I think, and we shouldn't do this alone. I think ASUW has so much on their shoulders, especially the board of directors. So much to manage, and I think saying that we're going to do that alone was not effective. It definitely requires talking to our greater community and understanding how the Alumni Student Association works, and being able to work with the UW Foundation and seeing how we can put all of our connections and ties together, and really get into our communities and talk to our alumni and previous students who really care about the association, and understand what the ASUW does for students.
Yeah, excellent. I believe that's all we have time for, but just wanted to thank you on behalf of The Voice and the editors on The Voice for just coming out and talking to us a little bit about what your vision was. So thank you for coming, and be sure to check out the rest of the videos by UW Imagine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.